yeah, you will attract it. But first, is it something you really will? I mean, you attracted because you wanted it, but did you ever thought about it and really research if that thing is gonna make you happy? And
Right. That's the preparation part,
yeah,
right? If you didn't prepare yourself to
you said,
validate if that align with you, then doesn't matter if the opportunity come to you, you're gonna miss it. Or even you take on the opportunity because you didn't prepare yourself on whether this will serve you, become a distraction instead of something that's in your desire to move forward. So that's the difference between if you're just judging yourself for doing too much, or did you do the things that actually allow you to move forward on the way that you want to live, the intention you want to carry, the impact you want people to see, right? So preparation, opportunity. Besides these two, right? That's the attraction. Once you get to that point, you still have to take action. But we won't take action if we do not have the right attitude, right? Our mind, our sabotaging tendency need to get the freak away from us so then we can be able to activate ourselves, be able to have the courage.
Tómate la dosis que te viene bien. Tómate la dosis que te viene bien.
muy bien, muy buenas tardes, tengan todos ustedes en el mundo. Esto es La Dosis, yo soy Eduardo Fernández. Esta tarde vi llover, no, esta tarde no llovió en Atlanta, hay un clima increíble. Aunque tengo una persona conmigo, PA se le llama, en México le diríamos doctores, pero bueno, no puedo decirle, Sabrina Runbeck. Y ella me va a ayudar a hacer un programa increíble esta tarde, porque todo este tiempo hemos estado hablando en los últimos años, ¿verdad? De cómo podemos controlar nuestro cerebro, ¿verdad? Muchas personas hemos platicado, muchos amigos y personas que han venido aquí a mi show, hemos quedado de acuerdo en que pues somos como maquinitas, ¿no? Que nos trajeron, ¿verdad? Al mundo, nos lanzaron sin darnos un manual con nuestro cerebrito, de nuestro cerebrito, y nuestro cerebrito es bien potente. Y la forma en que lo usamos, de verdad que a veces pues podemos ver los resultados. Unos lo usan muy bien y toman ventaja de los otros que no lo usan tan bien. Y bueno, el detalle es que hay muchas cosas de qué platicar. Yo estoy ahorita con ella. Esta plática realmente es para todos, pero ella se dedica mucho en sí a lo que es el área de las prácticas médicas, dentales, quiroprácticos, para todas esas personas que están en el negocio de tener una clínica pequeña, una clínica dental, los quiroprácticos, entre otras personas que trabajan en la salud. Ella se dedica a darles soluciones para manejar la crisis del tiempo, que es increíble, de la crisis y el manejo del tiempo, ¿verdad? Sabrina, you speak Spanish, right?
Oh, wow. My Spanish, back in the day, I lived in Spain for 5 months, but I feel like I completely forget about that.
I always... What I was saying is what you do, right? You really help kind of a health practices like doctors, medical offices, medical dental, chiropractors, small owners and entrepreneurs to succeed with managing time, crisis, and things like that, right? So I explained all that in Spanish. Just wanted to say that what we're gonna get out of this conversation is a better idea of how you help organizations to grow by managing their time, and of course, in some way, I would say I'm gonna add this our behaviors towards our work. How are you today?
I'm great. Great to be here and great to be in front of your audience. And thanks everyone for listening to us. We know you can be anywhere and you choose us, so we're grateful.
I strongly believe that we are devices thrown out there in the world with this thing here on top of our head, on top of our shoulders, that is so complex. It is a big machine and it needs a manual. We come to the earth with zero, we don't have a manual. You know what I mean? We don't have instructions. And we just go our days and we marry people and we commit with people and all that without having a freaking idea of what is in here. You can betray your own principles. You can betray everything. You have sabotage. You can do so much stuff. You can treat very good the people that is insignificant for your life, and you can treat so bad the people that is so nice to you and so much benefit for you. How that? Tell me more.
For sure, our brain is so complex and we don't really discover and use the whole complexity of this thing between our two ears. And even you think about nerve sensory endings, right? It's all something that, as you're saying, when we're born, we're born beautiful, pure, very easy to laugh and enjoy everything that we want. And the same thing, we're very good about like cry and say no to things that we don't want. But life, our parents, society, social media, our teachers, everyone keep telling us what to do. And then by default, we start formulating a box around us. And so we accept certain influence to change who we are naturally to adapt into other people's acceptation, right? And
yes.
So that's how things become so crazy and bombarded. And now I'm someone in that round too. I grew up, my parents actually got divorced early, and I'm the only girl in the whole family. All my cousins, everybody else are boys. So I thought in some sense, I gotta show up. Why would the boys need to take a charge and whatnot? I should not be seen as someone just like, oh yeah, get a good job, marry, you're all set. That's what the society tells us what set mean, right? And
yes.
then as we grow, as we learn, it's always like, oh, if only you have this great job, if only you make this money, if only you have a significant other, if only you have kids, then you'll be happy. And we constantly tell ourselves this, oh, if I only make this amount of money, then I will have the finance to then enjoy my life, then go on that best vacation. And everybody else who will be like, well, I think I'm doing pretty well, but if you're doing so well, how come so many of us still checking emails, responding to messages, worried about what we have at work when we're on vacation? How can you not be so present with the time that you have, that you earn yourself not to be distracted, right? So that's what I gone through. Through 2 bachelors, 2 masters, got into medicine. Finally, I thought I want to do heart surgery. This is a great, right? You have all everybody in medicine is like, ooh, neurosurgery, heart surgery, something like that, so sexy in a way. And then once you got into it, you're like, this is not what I thought it is. I would be doing cases, these open heart surgeries, they are at least 4 hours long. And then we add on some transplant, vascular surgery, long cases. It's endless. When do you patient ever take a break? No one take holidays from being sick.
Yes.
Right? And then I got to the point that one day I woke up, hardly 8 o'clock in the morning, I was exhausted. And I was taking a call the night before again. Now I remember my body felt achy because I had a fever of 101 degrees. And yeah, I was completely scrubbed with my hands inside of my patient's open chest, trying all that I can just to get through the day. And my scrub nurse was kind enough to be like, whoa, Sabrina's pretty quiet, it's not good. right? I'm such a chatterbox. If I'm quiet, it's the opposite of being good. Or passing medicine for me under my mask just to keep me going. And the next morning, I couldn't make it. I can barely get out of bed. I'm covered with nice sweat. I had to convince myself, girl, this is it. Right? You have to stay home. Now, at the time,
which is sad to hear that, because you're saving lives and making hundreds of people happy, having their loved ones come back to their homes. But anyway, it is very important what you're gonna keep saying. Sorry.
Which is what you're leading to is right. We see other people's career, people building big businesses, building technologies, right? Like people who make people feel better, from healing, from a healthcare perspective, to therapy, to even listen to these awesome videos just like you have. Now, but we don't think that way. We think about our obligation. We feel guilty if we don't show up. What if I can't deliver? People are gonna judge me. And we got trapped into these lies that our brain created, because that's how we default influence.
Did you say lies? Lies.
Yeah, lies that our brain created, right? Because that's what other people have said to us, what we learned from society. And that puts stress on our body. And when we finally face the truth that something hit a wall, it forces you to stop. Then we have to decide, can I be the owner of my own decisions? Is it really someone else that forced me to a corner? Or did I make myself this way? Because I was the one who said yes to all these obligations, taking on the world, putting that on our shoulder, right? Many of you listening is gonna feel in the same way. Oh, I need to plan the birthday party. Well, the office need to have a new project. I need to step up. And if one of my clients is not satisfied, oh, did I do something wrong? Well, maybe it has nothing to do with you, right? But we feel so obligated to solve every single problem. Like we're Superman and Superwoman.
You're what? The super what?
Like we're the Supermen and Superwomen out
That's
there.
right. Yes. One of the things I read this book once. A friend of mine recommended me, Ouspensky. I don't know if do you bring that person in your mind, Ouspensky? Well, basically, it's about the mind and how we are acting out of all the things that we've been fed with. I mean, we're just not doing what we want to do, and we believe we have a mission. I have a mission in life, and well, probably you have no mission, but someone makes you think that you have a mission. And I don't want to get him involved in any beliefs and all that, but no, I was made for this, and there's a path for me. And to be honest, it's just crap that is being added to you, your brain, and someone told you didn't realize, right? That's what the idea is. And he talks about fragmentation, how we are so fragmented. And we can see from that book, I can see this. He talks about the people that is being fragmented and defragmented, and the people that is not just being fragmented, but is being one, like Jesus Christ. He was one. He wake up in the morning, I'm the man, I'm this. He only had one message. And then you have Hitler. He was only with one message. Those kind of people, they believe in one thing and they just stick to it. And they really get into books, right? Because we have the capabilities of, as brains or whatever, of really, how can I say, print your name in history, because we have the power. Some people do bad stuff. Some people do great stuff. Hopefully, we just do happy stuff. I mean, your life is not to. You want to be useful. I believe in being useful for the good of others. Be there to help others, but also make sure that you're happy. And I found so amazing meeting you and what you have to say in that meeting and what you said, and it hit myself big time. But I am sorry, I just got excited. I don't know, I want to throw
No,
that.
this is great. It is added complimentary.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we got trapped on being busy. We use busy like an excuse, like a badge of honor, right? And that's the point that I bring up with so many people, whether you're in business, you're in leadership, you're working for a large organization, or you run the organization. What does that mean to you to do, to say yes to everything that you have said yes to? Are you just become an automation of, oh, okay, got it, do it? Or are you actually taking the time to say, how is this one project, the one thing that's actually building into what you want out of life, out of your career? Is that really giving you the freedom and success, or just someone else's idea of a freedom and success? And as coming back to what you said earlier, if we continue to learn too many things, then it becomes master of none, right? And then instead, if we can be so good to have one mission and dive deeper and deeper into those skills, instead of thinking about what we have, what are the lacking from us, we just needed to be the expert into that one thing. And that authority make us feel more confident and competent and help us to even act more, right? This is the cycle. Most people feel like, well, I have to have the confidence to do things. Actually, no, you just need to act first. Take a tiny little step, because every step will build on each other.
Yes,
And-
yes.
Right?
Let me introduce this man that came here very late.
Sorry.
Is Eddie. Eddie is a new intern here and is learning, coming very devotedly every day to learn. And you gotta hear his voice. My God, he's doing the voice of La Dosis, a young man trying to learn. Have a seat and enjoy the trip. He keeps texting me every time in the first minutes of my interviews.
Sorry
And,
about that.
and oh my God, so I have to really introduce him. I got
Eddie,
ding,
how are
ding.
you?
Yeah, he's like a ding, 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 ding. But anyway, so going back, please, can we rewind a little bit? Yes.
Yes. So in what we are trying to say is, when we say hello to people, how are you doing? And our default answer has been, hey, I'm busy. Like, busy is a good thing. But it's busyness getting you what you want out of life?
Yes.
Or is this a simple default? So can we just stop being busy so then you can actually spend less time to achieve more, so then you can actually enjoy more and have more satisfaction in life?
I think we have created stigmas or labels that means this and that, and busy means, oh, I'm so busy, I'm successful, I'm good, you know, I'm busy, I'm good because I'm busy because I'm good, or whatever. And few people say different things just to break it, but it's important you bring that out, because it is important that we change how important. Some people might say that doesn't mean anything. I believe it does. What we say every time we put something out there from our words, little phrases, little something, creates something. Am I right, Sabrina? Does it?
Right, you're so right. So example, you never have seen this person from work ever before. And then once you got introduced to that person, somehow you're seeing them everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Because now our mind register a cue, and so it's easier to spot things that you already know. So therefore, same thing as what we're saying, our brain really is by default, there are like two performance in a factory, right? The positive means defeat. And this concept has been shown in the book called The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schultz. So his idea is that every time you think about something positive, right? For example, we go to a networking event, you don't know anybody. Maybe you didn't even go with someone that you know. And then you have no idea the successful level, the status of anybody in there. So do you trust yourself to say, I can bring something different to other people? I can always serve someone in a different way. Might not be the way that these people have succeeded, but I can still contribute. And therefore, I'm confident to get to know other people. Instead, I'm going to be afraid that I don't know anybody. What if they don't like me, right? So if my mind is already, I can serve other. I am good. I have the resources for leading people to the right place. Therefore, I can be confident walking in that room, have any conversation, and be able to have that connection. If our brains start thinking, well, I'm not sure, these people must be more successful than me. What do I have to offer? Your energy start to shift into a place that you will not have any conversation. So we have to put ourselves into the mindset to empower. And that's where in positive psychology, we say there are 10 different self-sabotaging tendencies out there that will hold us back and make us trapped, and we get into our own way instead of flourish without stress, tapping into our empowerment side of us.
Like tell me, you say 10 conversations, internal conversations that what?
That are sabotaging.
Sabotaging. Thank you. So say it again, and can you say a few?
So the big one, the big umbrella is judge, right? Judge is the one who, how come you're taking so long to finish this project? Can you not think about a better way to do this? I can do it in half hour. I don't understand why it's so hard, right? Oh, things is all great. I don't understand why you're so negative. But there are so many things we are judging how we are doing. We put ourselves into such a high standard. Our lie is, well, if you put yourself into the high standard, you do so. You better force yourself, hustle, hustle, hustle. Then people will recognize all the results. And if you're in that state of mind, what? You start using your standard to judge everybody else. Now, of course, no one really likes to work with you, right? How are you creating all the amazing results you want to when you don't even have people in your corner to back you up or to even work with you to get those results? So number one is judge. I even have all my clients put a name to their judge. And guess what? My judge is called itty bitty shitty committee, right? That shitty committee is always chiming at me and telling me to do this and do that. And then I can say, you need a shush, right? You need to go play somewhere else and do not play in my ear. And some of my other clients, their name could be the nemesis, right? The sassy, right? One of them called them the Britney bitch. No matter what name you give to your judge, knowing it's not you. It's this thing that you bring creative based off all the adaptation, all the influence you got.
To be being more extensive, because we're talking about productivity and an environment of a working environment. We're talking about how to manage teams and groups. That's what you do. But being very more extensive, judging, and I learned it thanks to a yoga teacher. Judging is the worst thing can happen to you. I mean, you're one of the worst things. Judging is there. Can you tell me your explanation more in deep with our self-being, judging ourselves?
It starts with just creating anxiety, creating detriment as you're not enough, right? You start thinking about,
yes,
who am I? Because under judgment, there are 9 sabotaging tendencies.
Oh, so my God.
Right? So
we already had 10, and judging was 1. What?
Judging is the master of them, right? Technically, we're judging people on multiple different ways, and that's how we got trapped. That's why you name your judge and you call it out whenever it appears. The number one way to diminishing your judge, diminishing yourself from stopping yourself from feeling more fulfilled and satisfied is calling it out, right? And then even having name, knowing it's no longer you, it's this persona that your mind created, right? So number one step is just simply calling it out. Most of the time,
that's a solution. That's a step forward.
As a step forward, that's a solution. Number thing. Most simple thing is that, let's just say our telephone, right? Our smartphone. Everyone is glued to their smartphone. So we buy insurance on it. We put a protector, a screen cover. But guess what? You might still drop it. You might still shatter your screen. And when that happens, are you just going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm so stupid. I didn't put it on the right and then it shattered. Or you're going to say, oh, that sucks. But I guess this can happen to anyone. Stop, right?
Yeah.
And then you can do what? Usually what I train people is just do a neural remodulating quick reset. Like take a mini mental vacation, what I call it. So then you can bring yourself back to center, the peaceful state, the focus state. Instead of this heart beating, right? You feel like you're having a panic attack because I just broke this $1,000 phone. And then we can think about the empowerment state of our mind, which is called sage. So can you be more empathetic for yourself? Stop criticizing yourself. It's an accident. You didn't do it on purpose. Stop calling yourself stupid. And what? Be resourceful. Where is the next cell phone repair that maybe open long hour? I can even go there right now. And then think about how to do it. Instead of procrastinate, thinking, oh, maybe I can still use this phone. And then you're going to scratch your finger on that dirty and cut up screen, right? Save yourself some heartaches and can't even read the messages. Go to a store, right? And then you can start solving the problem, tapping into that part of us that we know how to do, how to behave, how to just act, right?
Yes. Focus on the solution and choose.
Focus, exactly. But then what about other things? Like, say, in your case, right? You can go out to do a speaking, really talking to someone new. Even for clients, you have a new proposal that you wanted to really share with other people. Are you going to judge yourself like, ooh, what if they don't believe me? What if I can't deliver even I signed this contract? So what that is saying is these other sabotaging tendency, especially peak performers, people who has a very high level demanding career, one of the big one sabotaging tendency is high achiever. What does that mean? We feel like unless we get a certain title, certain money, certain certification, a certain completion of a result, then who am I? Are people going to see me as someone who I already saw out to be? Are they going to trust me? Oh, guess what? You're judging yourself so hard when things don't even have happened yet.
Yeah. Right? I am more like, are they going to be lucky enough to meet me, motherfucker? I am the other way around. Yeah, I'm so arrogant, man.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I am lucky.
Hey, you're so lucky to meet me.
Right. And then the other thing that people got trapped on is what's it called? Restlessness. So it's this thing that you brought up way early conversation where people feel like I always have to be doing something. If I stop, who am I? I'm not productive anymore. I don't know what to do with my time. I always have to be doing something.
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I got you. Sorry. I was trying to monitor the everything, so you sound great.
Awesome. So the restlessness part of us is telling us we always have to be on. We always have to be doing something.
Yes.
Right? If I don't do something, that means
you're lazy.
I'm lazy. And if I don't do something means your mind is not in the right place. People could have produced so many more than you do. How could you not have earned that amount or produced into that next leadership position? And how could you allow yourself to rest? But on the flip side is you don't know how to reset yourself, you will never get to that point, because the most common problem all my client has been telling me is what? I don't have time. I don't have energy. When I ask them, why are you not further along in your career or in your life already? Okay. So if we constantly are lacking in time and energy, what are you having left to build on, even though you have ambitions, aspirations, right? So stop, allow your mind to stop instead of overdrive, allow yourself to reset instead of thinking about relax, which are two totally different things. So some people might say, Sabrina, I know how to do that. I go on vacation, I got a massage, I go to the sauna, I take care of myself. And then I'm like, amazing. How often are you doing that? Right? Even for those people who are like claim to be workout junkies, how often are you doing that, and with what intention? Yes. It's the concept of, as you're saying, if you're Ferrari, you're not gonna just take to any body shop to tone yourself up. You're gonna tone yourself up with the best quality of oil and best quality of gas, best quality of mechanics. And therefore, every single level will be uplifted, and it helps you with what? Sustainability. So instead of all of us thinking, I just need to learn more, I need to do more, I need to get all these things, you don't need all the extra. You need to know what's already so good within you, and how do you elevate and sustain and maintain that high functioning self, and instead of getting bombarded by all the bunch of shit things in the universe or in your own life. Because at the end of the day, your worlds depend on how you allow people to give you influence and how you allow everything to shift your attention and your focus. So if, just like Jim Rohn said, we're the average of 5 people that we're spend most with. So who are these 5 people? And once you're thinking about these 5 people, what are their quality of who they are in life? Are you there to match up to them? If they're not your level or even above, how do you think they are your support system? And I also believe if your circle of friends do not inspire you or support you, then you do not have a circle. You have a cage.
There we go. Well, yes, thank you. I don't want to give you my opinions, because then I take time of yours. But I'm gonna say this very clear. For my soccer teams, every soccer team in the last 15 years I have coached, or 16, whatever, my kids, right? I love coaching. I'm taking a break this year to focus on my business, and it's been great. But I want to say, I always say to them when I change teams or something, I say this at the end. We all have needs and wants in life, and we're gonna do everything to go get them. Your success, that success depends. It's actually almost like an absolute. Depends on who you hang out with. It's very important you pay attention that if you want to be a lawyer, hang out with people related with it. It will help you a lot to hang out with lawyers. Or if you want to be a soccer player, practice and all that, but also talk with people. Go hang out with soccer players, coaches, physical trainers, everything that goes around the soccer world. It will get faster. It will get faster. And if you want to be in trouble and you want to be in jail, well, hang out with criminals and stuff like that. It will help you, right? to get in there. So that it's how can I say it? Inevitable. That it's like magic. I don't know. Who you hang out with is very important. And thank you for bringing that expression. Is a cage, and the other one versus what you say?
You don't have a circle of friends. You have a mental cage.
A mental cage. That's right. And when this is one thing, I think I said it to you, Eddie, or to who? I said it the other day. I said, when you, yeah, I said it to you. When you have friends and you decided to stop drinking, right? Let's say you drink alcohol. And then you said the next day, say, hey, I don't drink, right? And you have a friend say, no, you do. You drink. That guy, just get rid of that person right away. Because you don't need that. If you say, I don't drink. No, I never drink before. I like to lie sometimes. So, but you can say, hey, no, I don't drink. I don't drink from now on. But anyway, going back, that's a beautiful thing you brought up, that is cage. And when
right, and then when we can tie into the things that you mentioned, like about wanting, wishing, it's no longer just about wanting and wishing. It's about doing. You can want and wish all you care about, right? You can repeat that 10,000 times. But if you're not going down to the basic, the behavior part of it, to make things so simple, doable, and focusing on what you can do, not cannot do, that's how we move forward to create something amazing. Also, just allow ourselves the time and patience to see things to come to fruition, right? So if you guys have heard I think everyone heard about the compound effect, right? So if I give you two options today, okay? If I can give you a penny today that will double the rest of your life.
A penny?
A penny today that will double every day for the rest of your life. Or I can offer you 10K tomorrow. Okay? So a penny today will double the rest of your life, and 10K, $10,000 tomorrow. Which option would you choose?
Well, depends how old I am, but right now I got the wisdom behind the penny that doubles every day. That's what you mean, is something that it is better. That's what I talk about in advertising with my customers, that I said, when you do an advertising, make sure you do branding as well, because that creates something that doubles all the time. And it creates, there's a moment where then you probably don't need advertising or whatever. And
right, it's building that momentum.
You build your momentum.
Also, this is one of my coach, right? For anybody who haven't heard about Darren Hart, amazing business coach. He used to be the editor-in-chief of Success Magazine, right? So the idea of that $10,000 is that gratification for most people. And then what they think is, well, it was 10K, I can do a lot of things of it. I can invest, I can pull things, I can make more money with that. Awesome, right? But then think about how quickly would that penny exceed your 10K?
Yeah, okay. You have, tomorrow is going to be 2 pennies, then 4 pennies, then $1, $2, $4, $6.
So how many days? Aguarda, take a guess. How many days?
How many days to get the 1 year? I don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm not that good. I'm not that kind of a guy.
No, you're fine.
Tell me.
It's not even a math problem. It's actually make you think how long it will take to get to some point, right? So if you do the calculation, it takes 31 days.
31 days? To get 1 penny, $2,000. I mean, $10,000.
Correct. So that is the amazingness of your patients don't have to wait for like you're easily thinking it's year, because that's what our brain somehow created. Oh, if you have to really tap into your patient, you never know when it's gonna come, or they might never come. We have haven't even allowed ourselves to see those results yet. So little increase. But now on the flip side, people saying, well, I can make more money with the 10Ks. Can you make double of that or more than 10K by investing within 30 days? If you can, amazing. But guess what? On the 32nd day, it already went to 20K, and then it will just keep double. The potential of that penny is going to be so much more than what you can have in that little instant gratification. That's what we're saying is too many people rely on willpower. Too many people feel like they don't have enough discipline to build discipline. Too many people thinking, I need to have more self-control. The more you criticize and judge yourself for not having self-control, not have discipline, not have willpower, you already stop procrastinating, right? The 10,000 things you can do, you're so excited about, you don't even know which one to start. So instead of us in building these extra things to prevent ourselves, right, stopping ourselves from creating and enjoying the moment right now, what we do is recognize all the sabotaging tendencies we already have. Because if I can even call myself out to say, yo, that's my comedy singing. You need to go stand at the corners to someone else, right? Like, do not sing to me. You can go hide in the darkness, in the attic, preferably.
Please
right?
go. You should,
please go.
Yeah. Go sit there.
Yeah. So then at least what? I told myself to stop. Just the moment stop, I'm honest with myself. I recognize, I own up to it, right? Like the book, Extreme Ownership. No matter what happened, in any situation, it can still be someone else's fault, but you were the leader. You are the center command of that situation. So up to whatever happened. Then what? Then we can transition that out, right? We can exercise, breathing, recirculate our brain to pivot ourselves to that, now what can I do, right? So when you're talking about efficiency and time management, if you start getting trapped by your self-talking tendency and start criticizing yourself from all that situation, then you're no longer actually working on what you need to work on for the next thing, right? That's a huge time waster.
Yes.
And other thing is when people are thinking about time management, I'm like, actually, you don't need to manage your time. You need to manage your focus and energy. If your focus is multiple different things, right? You feel like you should be multitasking. There's no such thing as multitasking. It's only switch tasking. Your brain cannot physically function in multiple things. You're constantly switching back and forth, especially the logical thinking part of our brain, right? And therefore, we have to be so conscious about where we're focusing ourselves on and where our energy level is. Now, I can ask you too, if you take your phone, will you be able to tell me how much battery is left in your phone right now?
Yeah, well, do you want to know? Do you want to know? It's probably, I have 59%.
Yeah, you told me that in what, like 2 seconds, I pick up the phone, you're like 59%.
Yeah.
But you tell me how much energy is left in your own battery system in your home?
Well, before that, I was just kind of very low before you came. I've been under so much stress with a lot of work that all came. And so what I did is I went to are you there? No, don't tell me you left. Okay. And then what I did before this interview, so I went to my trail, walking. I just went, and we have a beautiful trail and a beautiful rock. And most of the times nobody's there. So I do my exercises. I did my exercise, my Tai Chi thing. And I was trying to get my energy levels high again. So much pain I feel here and there because I have my conditions. And when the pain start coming, I believe is because your energy is going, I mean, my defense, everything is going down. So I had to so So I know, I mean, energy for me is a big thing that I've been studying, but keep going because you were on something. And I just say that I have to, I was aware, I went and recharged it. I don't know what I have. I might have probably 78% or something like that, but I was almost on 40. I was almost on, I was, oof. I remember what happened is I finished all my things and then I ate something. I came finished to my project that I did. I sent it and I noticed I'm so freaking low because the digestion and all that. So I went and did it. So I pay attention to those things. I pay attention to the recharging thing. But go.
Okay, perfect. So that's a great, so this is what I'm leading to. It's hard for us to gauge exactly how much energy is in our body. Because as you're saying, initially it's like 40%, but actually maybe it was down to 10%, 7%. But once I did something different, I work on my physical health, I start rebooting myself into the 70, 80% again. Now, if you're not self-aware of where our energy is, you even said, my energy are going down. If I didn't reset myself, I'm not able to do a show like this today. I'm not able to pay attention. And just like any business or personal interaction, if your energy level is so low, how do you think the way that you communicate with people gonna change? Will people sense that so quickly, right? It's a transferable. Energy is something just like actually money. Money is energy transferring.
It's true.
We only need money to do something, right? It's to go on vacation, be able to pay for certain activities, go to the restaurant that we desire, not have to companies, right? If I wanted to have a cocktail, I'm able to afford that. But that is simply, I exchange my labor, thoughts, my value through a number. And this number can exchange something for me, right? Exactly. So you should be able to own that I am worth these. And you should be able to call out to other people as well.
Yes. So judging, it was the number one of the things that I don't remember what was. Judging had 9 things on there to talk about, and solutions. You gave a solution to call out that voice or that person that judge you inside, which a friend of mine that I'm in conversation all day, he calls that thing cacaro. Cacaro in Spanish is the person that rolls the movie in a movie theater. Got it? So we call when the movie used to burn back in the days, the people will yell cacaro, cacaro, right? Person in the back, right? So complaining cacaro. So I don't know. My friend started calling that voice cacaro when we were kids, and it's like, hey, cacaro, my cacaro is giving me so much crap. Anyway, we got the judging part, but that judging thing, it was just the number one of I forgot what, but
they're the number one of our sabotaging
tendencies. One thing, because all these beautiful things you're telling us has something to do with our mind, right? And our brain. Would you describe, because for the goodness sake of this conversation, the difference between mind and brain?
Well, that's a completely a different conversation, because in neuroscience, we talk about different level of consciousness, and there's many different is the mind separate from brain, is the brain separate from mind, and it's that one unity versus if you are separate, if people pass away, is your mind still there, except your brain is not functioning, right? And same thing with the people who are comatose. Do you believe that their mind, their spirit is still there? It's just that brain is not waking up to move the rest of your body, right? So I think there's a lot of different doctrine and thoughts.
Yeah.
But you can also think about if you are someone who's spiritual, who's someone who understands there's bigger things than just our logical side of our brain. Decision making is actually from not just our consciousness, but more so from subconsciousness, our visualization, and auto suggestion, right? So subconsciousness is the one in the back of your, it picks up every single signal. And auto suggestion means
every single what?
Every single other signal out there.
Okay.
Right? Every cues, triggers, all that. And when we're recognizing certain cues and triggers, our behavior change to match these triggers. Just like you're driving down the highway and you know exactly which exit to go back to your home, right? You don't have to process. And sometimes you're like, oh, I was on an autopilot. I made the wrong turn.
Yeah.
Right? Like all of that happened to us because this is subconsciousness is making us do this. And then auto suggestion is almost like the magicians. They send out these little signals out there to make you think a certain way. All right. So it's not your logical brain need to process. It's like all the little pieces that made sense and triggered some result of thinking. And then visualization is for you to almost like a meditation session where you're thinking as this beautiful tree blooming. And the fruits from the trees are like all the goals of glory and happiness you want. And when you reach out to grab that fruit, you feel so good. What does that fruit look like? Right? These visualization sessions will help you to see and help you to learn something about yourself. Right? So you add all these things together, you create not just what we have processed now, right? It's just not enough. Our brain is at this point not handled. And that's why we have computer, we have different devices, right? Running all these programs to make us what? Easy. Life doesn't have to be complicated. We make it complicated, like the Confucius quote.
But you wanna continue exercising your brain once in a while, right? What I want to say, you talk about visualization, and the other thing I forget.
Auto suggestion.
Yeah, and this kind of hypnosis,
yeah.
kind of the sources of hypnosis and all that. So it's possible, just to say it quick, a good exercise in a situation where you're sabotaging yourself. Is that true, or can people say, I remember a moment when I was very successful and I remember how I felt that day. I remember when I won with my team and we got the cup and it was hard and we were losing. We came back and we scored a penalty kick at the end and we won. The feeling I got that day and that moment, me as a player, as a coach or whatever, that feeling, I can feel it now. Can I bring that feeling and bring it back to that situation I'm struggling with and mentally don't do it and then go ahead and perform? Is that
exactly? You can, and that's I'm training for people on mental fitness. Just like you have a fitness instructor to build your muscle, to tone, to lose weight, you also need a mental fitness person to do what? Build mental immunity. Because there are always going to be something happening in your life. You feel like, oh my God, I have to put out another fire, right? And then these interaction you have, oh, I have a big win. Amazing. I'm honored in this win. Hooray, right? We have this great team. And then the next time we lose, how do we come back from that one loss back to become a winner again?
Yes.
Right? These are fitness training. And we start by recognizing all different sabotaging tendency. Of course, we only talk about the master judge, and then I gave one of the sabotaging tendency of a high achiever. There's more of that, right?
Yes.
And once you recognize that, Then you can start to train your brain to get that out. So I do this exercise when I go to conferences and to give speeches, which we can do it today too. So anybody who's listening, hopefully you're not driving. If you're driving, you can pause
Eddie,
this.
are you listening? Are you listening? Okay, can you sit here in this microphone so you can participate a little bit? Okay, can you just stand up? Yeah, there you go. You want to participate? Sure, great. So get in the microphone.
Yay.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay.
Awesome.
He's there. Okay.
Okay, so everybody, if it's safe, you're at work, you can do this at home, at work, when you take a walk, no matter what, right? So you're sitting, standing, all okay. I want you to close your eyes for the next 2 minutes. A little reset, even under 2 minutes is enough. So you want to close your eyes and start moving your body, right? Move your shoulders, your back, start noticing where your body is. There's area that might be tension, right? And then wiggle your toes, feel like you're super grounded to the floor, all right? And then you're feeling everything. And there's also a balloon on the top of your head, like it's literally lifting you up, like your spine is aligned. There's no weight. Your body starts just relaxing. Space between your ears and your shoulder. There's no extra weight on your body. All right. Take 2 quick deep breaths in. Slow breath out on 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 3, 2, 1. 2 quick breath in. Slow breath out on 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath for 3, 2, 1. Now let your breath go into normal rate and rhythm. Feeling your stomach, your chest is rising and falling. Maybe you feel a little bit of vibration in your nose when you're breathing in. And now, any breath you're taking, if there's any pain, any discomfort, you're letting the breath just flow past your body, that pain part, and keep moving forward. Those pain does not stop you. There's simply a momentary discomfort that breath will take and move through you. And then you're gonna put your 2 hands together and slightly rubbing your fingers, your hands. Start noticing how soft, rough, dry, or moist, rough, or smooth is your hand. If there's any other thoughts besides the sensation of touch, let them pass you, like the wind just flow by your face. You're only gonna concentrate on the sensation of touch. What does it feel? Forgive yourself if you have any other thought, but the concentrating on the sensation of touch. Allow your mind to be empty, to only focusing on yourself. And when you're ready, set an intention in how you want it to show up for the rest of your day. What is that word that best would describe how you want to show up? Once you have that word, you can go ahead, open your eyes.
What was the word, Eddie?
Word.
Yeah, get to the mic, closer to the mic. What was the word that came to your that
Into
came
your
to you
mind.
into when she said stop wasn't mine when you had all that feeling? Were you focusing doing it or no?
Trying to.
He was trying to. You know what? What there was a word that came to your mind or no?
Yeah, it was stop.
The stop. That's the word. No, but the question was the word that you want. You want to what?
What's the intention,
The intention.
that you want to have for the rest
I'll
of the day?
tell you, it came more like a picture of me more than a word, than a happy. I fought for the word happy, but the intention, I saw myself like a yeah, like a great, like a successful day. I'm with so much stuff going on, and so I kind of saw myself having like a yeah, something like that. I saw a picture more than a word, and then I kind of pushed the word happy. I want to be happy by being successful. That was a very good question I had when I was only 18 or 17 or 16. I don't remember when we started our band. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, the drummer of my band. I always mention my band because it's my family. It's my other family. He said he was driving and we were going around, and he said, what are you striving for, or what is more important for you, success or happiness? I will never forget that day. And I say, I want to have success, being happy, but what I say, I want a balance in my life. I don't want to be super rich where I'm going to just be all stupid and an asshole or a dick, right? Uh, but I want to be someone that really treats people good, and I have my share, right? And that's what I said to him back in the days. And it's so important when you kind of being just with people, you keep it fair. Happiness, it's a good sister of that thing, that family. And well, it came back. It was a nice. What are you trying to say? Tell me if I'm right. When your relaxation, should we set up a word or something, or it is for us to know what is going on inside, or what is the purpose of the exercise?
Yeah, so it's multiple different folds. We're trying to shut down the parasympathetic system where you have fight and flight mode. If you have a bad moment or even a good one, right? We don't want it to be just so excited in this moment and get trapped by the moment, but we wanted to set ourselves that peaceful state, that focused state, that energized state to do what we got to do. So when you have 2 quick breath in, slow exhalation, that slow exhalation is going to slow down our heart rate. When people are panicking, that's why they're taking really short and quick breath in, right? Like they're breathing from the chest instead of relaxing and slow down. So we really slow down our heart rate and put ourselves in a better spot. And we start noticing our body posture, because guess what? If you hunch over, which most of ourselves do, staring on the computer, typing and tightening, right?
Mhm.
Everything is so stressed out. Instead of stretching, just be aware where your body is. All right. And then when you take that deep breath and move through the spot that you have pain, you're allowing some emotional distress, allowing the things to let go. Now, we also ask ourselves to forgive ourselves if we have any other thoughts besides the sensation of touch, because one of your 5 senses, we train people on vision, auditory, smell, taste, and seeing. Visualizing is most distracting. So you have been trained for a while. We tell people to close their eyes, right? Because if we're opening our eye, any shining light, you are that sense of 2 minutes. 2 minutes is powerful. You don't have to do things for 10, 20 minutes at a time to get the same benefit. 2 minutes is enough. So it can be so focused and just allow ourselves to be with ourselves for 2 minutes, focus on the touch, focus on the amazing smell that you have, right? Holding that cup of coffee, right? Or that taste of bubble gum, like whatever, enjoy the moment of that, and now allow yourself to think about all the project, all the to-dos, all the emails you still have to get back to, right? And then at the end, you set intention for how you want to show up for the rest of your day. Why are we doing that? It's because now you know exactly what you have to do when a difficult situation, when chaos happens. If your word is happy, then you will intentionally choose to be happy.
Correct.
How would I be here? I'm not, well, if I start arguing with that person, I'm definitely not going to be happy. So if I'm going to choose happiness, I'm like, everyone is 10% correct. So I will just be a good person and listen to it, right? And not be affected to feel defensive about what I have to talk back.
It's
right? That's why we set intentions.
It's so nice because in this show that we just started this season, we changed the name of the show to create this kind of consciousness in people about the doses. A dose. The name of the show is La Dosis, which is a dose. Why? Because I've been thinking so much about how important it is. A lot of people, we have anxiety sometimes because, or we judge ourselves because, oh my God, I always wanted to play guitar, but I never did. Or I want to be at this, I want to be that. Why you just don't do it 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, just a little bit. Every day, it will make something in the future. And that's what we always say, yesterday, before yesterday, all these days that I've been saying it, it's very important if we only do a day, a little walk. I need to do a lot of exercise and that because I need to get in shape. Just do a little bit. Just a little bit. Just walk couple blocks and come back. Today, tomorrow you probably want to do more. But don't feel, oh no, but then I do that. Oh my God, but I know I will not be in a regimen and tomorrow I'm going to feel bad because I didn't do it. It doesn't matter. Just do it now.
Right. And that's how people are not actually knowing how to set goals. They have a lot of goals, but if they don't have them, it becomes unrealistic. You don't know how to put that into effect. Even you can say, do little things at a time. They still don't do it because we're never taught correctly in school in these strategies to build behavior that are doable, right? And then just like our penny example, okay, if even use penny, how are you allowing yourself to just wait on the penny to become the big next thing? Right?
That's true.
In this 31 days, supposedly, or 32 days, however you want to wait until the happens, you don't have to wait to that day to do something. In this time, if those money, what you want is a big house, putting a down payment, or going on that amazing trip, guess what you can do? Research, right? Do the research that you need so you can get to that point. You don't technically just wait for things to happen. Even law of attraction talks about you have to be super clear and specific on what you, not just like this dream that I have.
Yes.
That's what we also talk about because we learn by other people, these mirror neurons for other, but we control our own path. So if I know exactly what I want, I'm intentionally about seeking them out. And when opportunity is there, luck is what? Preparation plus opportunity plus action plus attitude, right? If we truly have the courage to face, to take action, to grab onto opportunity, to recognize things, then that's how we attract the good things that we want and to happen to us in the right time where I don't feel like I need to rush, it will always come to me. Bob Proctor.
Yeah, I always forget names and all that. But he said, visualization will attract things, right? And feelings. But feeling that you have it, it will come. But there's something very important in the happiness that we're talking about is, yeah, you will attract it. But first, is it something you really will? I mean, you attract it because you wanted it, but did you ever thought about it and really research if that thing is gonna make you happy? And
right, that's the preparation part.
Yeah.
Right. If you didn't prepare yourself to validate if that align with you, then it doesn't matter if the opportunity come to you, you're gonna miss it. Or even you take on the opportunity because you didn't prepare yourself on whether this will serve you, become a distraction instead of something that's in your desire to move forward. So that's the difference between if you're just judging yourself for doing too much, or did you do the things that actually allow you to move forward on the way that you want to live, the intention you want to carry, the impact you want people to see, right? So preparation, opportunity. Besides these two, right, that's the attraction. Once you get to that point, you still have to take action. But we won't take action if we do not have the right attitude, right? Our mind, our sabotaging tendency need to get the freak away from us so that we can be able to activate ourselves, be able to have the courage to do. So even question I ask my clients this. So Eduardo, how do you define courage?
It's choosing to keep going. Let's put it that way. Choosing to keep going, right?
Right. So that's one of the three part of willpower. Eddie, what do you think about willpower? Courage. How do you define courage?
Eddie, he's asking you.
Could you repeat the question?
How do you courage? Like Greta said, it's about the nation keep going. What else would you add to that?
I'm trying to think of something, but nothing's coming to my mind right now.
Okay, it's okay.
It's okay. Put you on the spot, and that's the point, right? Like our mind needed to be able to be challenged in a way. Awesome. So the two other train thought of courage. Now, Roberta's already said, right? It's the keep going part. So we will keep going no matter what, even though I don't know the result. Even though I have fear, I will show up, right? I do. What about the other two components? Consequence. I would not be able to live with the consequence of inactivity, right? Because any inaction will cause you to lose something or cause you to gain something you don't want. So if the consequence is so great, we cannot force myself to even not act, right? So if I don't, let's say in the earlier days, despite how hard it was to go through medical training, I would still go through that. Even if that repeating it means drinking from a higher hydrant for years, you don't stop. But if I don't, then I wouldn't be able to make the impact in the medical community as I am now, right? What's the consequence if you don't take the courage? And then flip the switch. If you didn't do what you need to do, how could you create those amazing results you want, right? Are you going to actually get to that goal, actually make the impact, actually create the things that you want out of it, right? So what is the ultimate end goal and what is the consequence of giving up?
So you're saying that the consequence when you visualize, are you going with this kind of a part of the conversation? Are you going with seeing the end result or no?
Yeah, one part is seeing the end result, right? And that's one part. Another part is if you don't do what you need to do, if you're not courageous to act, there's a consequence consequence of inactivity.
Yes, of course.
Right? So just like regular fitness, like what you did today before the show, went to do your Tai Chi workout, you walked, right? You let yourself reset. The consequence of not doing that, your energy level was already 40%. It probably will just drain down. How do you have the active conversation bouncing back and forth with someone if you didn't reset yourself? So that's the courage of, I can say, I'll just be lazy. Maybe I'll just here nap a little bit, right? But there's a consequence to that. And then the good thing is you already know whenever you do these exercise, you feel so much better, right? So what would be the cost of the inactivity and what would be the benefit of doing something for you? And the other courage, as you're saying, is I will persist. I might not know exactly how much it will bring my energy up, but I know at least it will.
It will, yes. Because I already have in my records, right, that there's a consequence, and I like that consequence, right? That you gotta keep track on that, right? You gotta keep track on what does what. Okay? I'm sorry. Keep
right, exactly. So consequences is something that we are not willing to face, right? Human beings are more driven by pain than pleasure. So if you understand what the pain would be for your inactivity, then you would actually know what you want out of life. You will to do it more so you don't get trapped in whatever this consequence is causing you.
Is that true? So basically, so
it's one of the example I gave earlier is about going for a higher level of training. Okay. And the other example I brought in is you going to exercise. The consequence of you not exercising is your energy level is already low. It will just keep down. The consequence of inactivity. So you will now allow yourself to just be so drained you can't even have a conversation. Therefore, you made a decision to do certain type of exercise to bring it back. Does that make sense?
Yes. Definitely. Got it. How do you work with a client? Let's say, actually, the Dr. Puentes, that I'm very happy to see if you guys get to work together because he's starting his own practice now. What's the process to start working with someone and take him to the next level? And what it will be the consequence, probably.
Right. So that's what we're actually discovering together. So typically is because I don't even know that person, I'm not sure if I'm the right person to help them. I only through referral, I will give them a complimentary session. And then during that session, we can break it down a little bit on where are they now? Where do they actually want to go? And what are some of the barriers in that? So then we can flip the switch in your mind to get you to that point, right? And cut away all the craziness that are not really in our desire zone. So for people who wanted to have a conversation, either contact me and tell me that you heard it from Eduardo's radio show, right? Because I only really serve people. I can't help everyone. I know that. And therefore, I only help the people who will be the same wavelength of energy and receptivity. At the end of the day, we talk about preparation, opportunity, attitude, and action. So we're going to help you to have the preparation there. But when you see this opportunity come to you, are you someone who can jump on, open, receive, or you are so doubtful that you stop yourself?
Exactly.
And therefore, that's the part of attitude. I can be successful. I already am. But if I wanted to be able to heighten and sustain my performance so I can feel satisfied for both who I am as a business owner and who I am as a dad, as a mom, as a husband, wife, as a daughter, as now I have to do something, not crazy chasing my own dream, right? And I need to be a better person to build my character, to build my fitness. And therefore, I have to take action. So we have to have all four to create our own
preparation, opportunity, attitude, and activity.
Yes.
Woo, woo. And okay,
right?
So
create your own luck.
But one of the questions that probably I kind of this is, I'd rather say it than you go in deep. What you told me in our meeting that we had before, you said the way you work with organization is by first working with the head, with the owner or
Leader.
the director,
Yeah.
or that's very important. And this goes along very well to what we always talk about here is, it's funny, but like a companies like, I'm going to mention a goal. I mean, I'm going to kind of go, I'm going to mention a brand. There is this brand very popular in the United States, here in our town too. It's called Chick-Fil-A, right? And also Wendy's. Wendy's had this kind of Dave Thomas, right? And the other was Drew Cathy, and the owners, the founders, the CEOs. They had a certain way of being, and that trickles down to every employee, most of the employees, at least the ones that stay and escalate. Because it's what you say from the very top. And you see the same attitude in every employee. It goes trickles down so nicely or so badly. And when I say two teams, because we like soccer so much and we talk about this, I talk with my friends. It is so important what the president of the club says. It is extremely important. My club, I'm so proud, Tigres, that looks like you because you're yellow and blue there. We've been killing it in the last 10 years or 11, 12 years. We're killing it so good. Trophies after trophies. But the nice thing is the whole thing is so nice. Both women and men, both are on top. Why? And then because we had a great president. The president, not the coach. The coach was great too. But the president, I remember when he won the third cup or something a few years ago, 6-7 years ago. He said, they were killing it. And one of the guys, one of the reporters, and after the final, beautiful final, they tied at the end, penalty kicks, we won. Unbelievable. We were going to lose. And they say, is that true that you're going to sell this player and this player and this player? That we have such a great players, right? And it says, and the guy said it very clear, stop that. We're not here to sell players to make money selling players. We're here to win championships. That's our goal. We don't make money out of selling players. That's not it's not in our objectives. So
it's about coming from the top, that big mission, that strong foundation. And in human, we also have what's called a mirror neuron. And what that means is we copy other people's behavior, even you don't feel like anybody is watching you. People are observing these behavior from authority leader. So how you do things, what you say matters so much, including what you say to yourself. Everyone is copying, despite how much you're saying, oh, you did such a good job. This is great, but you're not talking to yourself the same way. You behave and think the same way. It will not actually connect with everybody who work with you. That's influence is so important when we talk about who are the 5 people. That means just these core people in your life that you can create this massive impact as their 5 people, and it kind of spread into network of support, of change. So that's why we work from the top to make sure that you have the mental fitness, immunity against anything that would not serve you in life.
Is there a necessary evil? I said it. I said it's very important who you hang out with. This is a business owner. He's great. He's so focused. He travels all over the world to watch Mexico, to see them live. He went to Germany. He went to South Africa. He goes South America. He goes everywhere he's a productive person. I'm proud of him. But he's sometimes a pain in the neck. But I believe, I call him and myself, this is my necessary evil kind of guy,
It all matters on how you see things. It doesn't matter on what other people see. It matters on what do you create as your core foundation of life, right? Because what you deem necessary, enjoyable, desire is not going to be the same as else. And that is okay. So it depends on what is your dial system to see how is this person helping me with my satisfaction, my joy, and that matches all the harmony with my hobbies, in my personal interests, with my relationship person. Would I still help each other out to create this joy?
Yeah.
Right? If it somehow become pivot into one of your judgment, right? Like criticize, or somehow it becomes shifting away from the ultimate joy that you create, then you have to decipher what would it be worth to me to give that person my time and energy. Because any activity we can do alone, we can do with friends, and we can do with multiple friends. It's your judgment on what is worth to you for that person.
Thank you for giving a structure to that case, because last 3 weeks ago, it was disaster, right? He's oh my God, I had to send him on Uber, and then he always changed direction on the Uber. This is the second time I send him an Uber. We split ways, and then I'm looking at the Uber, and you start going somewhere else, and I have to cancel. It's a mess, that guy, but it's kind of like a fun every now and then, is until the problems come. But you know what? What it helps me is my tolerate kind of level helps me a little bit, but also there's so much joy and fun when things are good, right? And also I use him because he criticizes me a lot, right? When he's mad, when he's not getting what he wants, just like a baby, he starts telling me things like, and I like to hear it. Sometimes interesting point of view, but I don't take it. But it's and we all have to deal with people in our teams, right? And not because someone gives you trouble, that means that you're gonna quit on him. Am I wrong, Sabrina? Tell me, just to finish, tell me if it's okay to learn to deal with evil every now and then. Or not evil, he's not evil.
Everyone, right. So everyone will have all different type of difficult person walking into your life. You really have to think about what's the boundary you have to set for what are you gaining out of that relationship.
Yes.
Which the more that you talk, actually what I'm hearing you saying is that you actually really enjoy your company until he hits certain point that become bad, right? And then, but before he got really bad, what you actually like is for someone to be quote unquote honest. It's not that he's criticizing you, maybe he is, but you actually wanted to hear some kind of truth that you never thought about yourself from someone. So that means you might not need to put yourself into that specific situation to hear the truth. You can have more open conversation with people that matter to you in your life to see how they are seeing you.
Yes.
So then you create a more learning experience in the controlled and healthier and stable way than waiting for a more of a chaos from happening. And then you're not even sure you can trust his words or not.
Yes. And you always going the smarter decision always gets you to a better level all the time, and it creates a better behavior. But let me text him and say, no, I think I'm gonna watch it home. I'm just kidding. Going back, so you start with the group, you start with the head, and then trickles down. You know that trickles down, and then you start working with teams, right? What depends on the organization.
Right, depending on how many people is in there, the leaders might want to work, ask me to work with some of their other VPs or other physicians in the practice, other managers, in a specific way, versus, hey, everyone to be in together, learn from each other, and go through the same training together. And then, of course, there are people who really love one-on-one because they don't feel like, oh, I have my turn, or if I'm taking too much time from talking, right? Someone else haven't spoke up yet. And one very deep dive, just almost like us on the radio show, is our conversation. We directly break down how you're thinking and pivot into a different way that you are empowering yourself. We're not bombarding ourselves to learn new things. Pull out what actually worked for you to make your life easier and more enjoyable.
Perfect.
So that's the goal.
I'm gonna is there something that we are missing? I want to make sure that my friends and people watch this video, understand how important it is to have fun or at least enjoy what you're doing. I mean, there's always, and this is from my side, there's always a tolerance that we need to allow to not, to unpleasant moments in your daily lives, right? And your working world, right? And your business or your job. But you cannot get used to that. And you have to take decisions quickly before after. And
yeah, exactly. And then I think a lot of people think these sessions almost feel like therapy, but a lot more, because typically we go through a therapy session, it's more of talking about a problem. And this is more, when you think about advisory coaching, it makes whatever you're thinking into a super intention and a goal and result. So it's leading you down a path that you already can come up to a solution and steps to make things happen by training our brain to do things differently. And that's the difference between how you will have someone who just have a typical therapy session than having someone who focus on your performance, your productivity, and allow you to gain your energy and time back. And so I would encourage everyone to think about what would be worse to you to have a peace of mind. How much is your time actually worse to you, right? And if you want to gain time back, what would you do? Why have extra 10 hours freed up from your schedule? What would that hours be worse to you? And if you really think about that's something you truly wanted to explore, feel free to reach out to me.
Yes.
And I'm sure Greta will put my website on the show notes.
I put the whole information in there.
Yeah. So can go to sabrinarunbeck.com/blueprint. So let's see if we can create a blueprint for you to sustain and heighten your performance, so you can spend less time and get more achieved out of life.
It's a map, right? You need a map sometimes, just to little steps to get to the next level. And for me, it was so important that day when I met you to hear those words that you say. And to be honest, I don't remember them. But whatever you say, fuck it. I remember that word. You said something about, if it's not making you happy, stop doing it. And because it will not be self-sustainable, right?
Right. I think I was talking about a freedom compass. How do you stay in your desire zone more than 80% of the time? And now get distracted or trapped into the disinterest zone or even the dreadful zone where we lie to ourselves thinking we have to. It's my obligation.
Yes. I say we need more therapists that people can go and talk, and because we need it. There's a lot of shit going on with social media and all that we get lost, and we need that person that is professionally trained to lead into a conversation of heal. But the problem is a lot of people have said this. People that have tried all these things, they say, the more therapy I go, the deeper I get in my shit. And I'm tired of it. Few people have mentioned that. What I like about you is that that is not a therapy. You're a specialist. You know this very well. You're a professional PA, surgeon. We can say that, right? That just wanted to get deeper and have something that has more meaning for you, and this is fun for you because you see results like a coaching. For me, when you see a team that is struggling and then at the end of the day we won something, it feels so good. It is so, oh my God, I feel like a king. Okay, and so I know where you're coming from. The problem is with some people, they get you more down deep. And your case is more focusing on solutions from here up, right? And just start changing. And not because when you were a kid, you were hearing this, let's go more into that. No, let's find solutions quick and get better. And that's what I wanted just to point out before we leave. Thank you so much, Sabrina Runbeck. How can you pronounce
Thank you.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Runbeck.